Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. This is UFRL, and we will begin with a 2-minute silence following the devastating impact, of course, what has happened. So we will have a 2-minute silence, and then we shall resume. And we are now back. So thank you to everybody for taking part in a 2-minute on-track silence. Also, thank you to everybody in the chat for paying your respect. So, what will happen now is we will have all of the drivers heading out for their out lap in a formation slash parade lap style, followed by the an actual lap, not a hot lap, but again a formation slash parade lap to ensure everybody has caught up. So it'll be like 2 laps, and then everybody will head back into the pits. After that, qualifying will resume. As you can see, Cannon's Season 8 Constructors' Championship car, the Mercedes, is the one that is being led out by DD Friends. We've still got a few drivers just to head out. I do think Hybrid is now heading out. There's just one more driver left to go out. Now they're going out. So they are all heading out now. Hopefully they should be able to all catch up on this lap. But yeah, so DD Friend, most drivers are out there. You've got Epic Frenchie and Hybrid. Oh, Epic French, how's he managed that? Well, I'm not actually sure how he's managed to do that, to be honest. That's a weird one. That was coming out of the pits. So yeah, very strange, that one. But every driver, obviously except Epic Frenchie, has now caught up. So we will have DD Friend leading the way. Hybrid will be at the back, the 2 Mercedes. And now everybody will continue for the formal parade lap. Obviously we did this in Tier 1 last night as well, and it will happen again in Tier 3. I presume it will also happen in the 100% tier on Friday as well. So, very, very good from all the drivers. Still not sure what happened with Epic Frenchie. I mean, it didn't look like from a track map like he had a spin, but yeah. He has spun in pit lane. Yeah, I mean, Unless when I look down, his car may have been moving because he had already been disqualified, possibly. Yeah, I mean, it is possible. I'm not sure how exactly that's, you know, how he's managed to do that, but either way, well, we'll just have to continue. We won't be restarting a session for that, I don't think. So, yeah, we'll just have to keep going. And again, obviously, we see DD Friend here leading the way. The two kicks Albus, the Red Bull, the Ferrari all in there as well. I will mention Kingy the King is primarily here for this parade lap after the passing of Cannon. So, yeah, a lot of respect's been paid, of course, in the chat. Kingy the King, who's not even a full-time driver, he just wanted to pay his respects. So yes, very much respected, that's for sure. So, and again, anybody who does pick up any form of penalty, illegal blocking penalty, for example, we will obviously restart lobby for the race with them in their corrected positions. But fingers crossed, we haven't had any illegal blocking penalties as yet. I will double check the race director. But DD Fred now should head into the pits. Yes, indeed. So everybody should pit now. And it looks like, from what I'm seeing, everybody is indeed following. There you go. Very nicely done again. There you go. So Morg Massey, for example, we will be I mean, it's not for illegal blocking, but I suppose it's still fair to restart after. But there you go. So everybody has now completed the out lap and the formal lap, the formal parade lap as well. Pick up the cannon, indeed, yes. So qualifying will now resume as normal. We've got just over 10 minutes to go, so drivers will be able to get out for potentially 2 runs, 2 hot laps here. We're just gonna go here. Who would the first driver be? I mean, DD Fen might be the first driver. Got to factor in. He was the first driver to get back into the pits as well, so normally they will have the advantage. If you're the second driver into the pits, then a little bit more difficult. I mean, second of your team, of course. So DD Friend, you would expect, has the advantage out of the 2 Mercedes drivers. But then again, Hybrid was at the back of it as well, so may not be too bad. But it's not actually any of them. It will be Kesenator is the first one heading out. So Kesenator, the first one officially out for qualifying, of course, following the parade lap. So we'll stick with him. We've also got the Williams, the McLaren, a Haas and Aston Martin just coming out of the pits now. So 5 drivers coming out. Kick Sauber, they were second and third, I think, in the queue as well. So yes, both McLarens in fact are now heading out, and a Mercedes, I presume, will be DD Friend. I mean, it could always be hybrid. But we will just stick with Kesenator. And for this first lap, we'll see how we can fail. Obviously, Kesenator, tier 3 driver. He'll be happy to just finish. And no doubt about it, this will be a very difficult race for Kesenator this evening. But yes, let's see how Kesenator gets on, as he is just about to kickstart the qualifying beyond the checkered flag to the line and take it into turn 1. Heading through the centre S's, of course, through turns 1, 2, and out of turn 3, he'll go through the curve of the Sol. And now down the Retta Aposta for the Alpine driver. Kesenator, of course, burning a lot of the battery as well, down to below 40% as he enters into the Cedar del Lago through at turns 4 and 5. Big up Kez. Watch my Kez fly. He done some Monaco before he joined. Well, it worked for him last week, Monaco practice, even though we weren't racing at Monaco, so who knows, it could work again for round 2 at Brazil. Yeah, who'd have thought? Monaco practice will work for round 1 Qatar. When there's loads of walls at Monaco, you barely see a wall at Qatar. It's amazing how that worked, isn't it? I will say, obviously you can't read much into it. Kesnate's gone purple through sectors 1 and 2. I think really, as soon as Kes gets a lap in, we should really just end qualifying, to be honest. Right, Kesnate to the line, it's a 1:10.4. That's it, red flag. I'm joking, obviously. Imagine that, you just red flag straight after Kesnate across the line, that's it. Kesnate a pole position. Well, it didn't last too long. But what we'll do, we'll get the times back on. There you go. Presume everybody is on the softs. I mean, given that you're only going to get 2 attempts, really. Jar Jar being 109.0 does seem quite quick there. King OG 6 tenths off, 9 tenths to Shazam and 50 Gent. 1.4 seconds back is Kesnate, but Bakey Gaming goes to the top of the times. There you go, 108.9. Iron Shin slots in as well. So Iron Shin goes into 4th place. Here comes Stepney, or Luke Stepney goes 4th himself. And he got his teammate Free Range Eggs about to push through on that Red Bull. And the Exodus P2, 19 thousandths of a second, separating Bakey Gaming and Free Range Eggs. Jar Jar just a 10th further adrift. Hybrid on the lap, Woody Fernandez on the lap. And you've also got Morg Massey in the Aston Martin. We're going to stick with the kick sab of William. Obviously in P16, he wants to buy this time to get up the field. We know William has plenty of capabilities pushing for a title. We would love to do that. William to the line, goes 4th fastest within 4 tenths of a second. And now we'll go towards Morg Massey, because Morg Massey goes quickest. 108.459. Belting lap by the Aston Martin. Half a second clear of Bakey and Eggs. And Morg Massey is on to a flyer here at Interlagos. Now to the Mercedes of Hybrid, who was going for his first lap. DD Friends out there as well on his out lap. He wants to get a lap in. Tesco and Moody in the pit. Epic Frenchie disqualified, of course, from a session, but Hybrid to the line. Hybrid goes P9, 1.3 off, but he's still in that top 10. Doug out there as well in P13 and validated on this occasion, 4 tenths slower through the middle sector as well, so no improvement for Doug. And he will get straight into the pits and he'll look to avoid the Red Bull as much as possible, which indeed he does. So there you go. Let's go, Kez. He beaten Doug. Doug P13, Kesonator in P12. So yes, correct answer. He is beating Doug. Doug, you just need to make sure you can't. Yeah, it's just not possible, is it? It's not a feasible option. 1:10.435, decent time for me. Yeah, good effort. Definitely a good effort. P12. I mean, again, a few drivers are going to be out there, but even if Tesco, Moody and DD Friend improve, if Doug doesn't improve, by the way, Kes, you've out-qualified Doug. So, for your sake, I'm guessing you're thinking, come on, Doug, do not improve on your time. DD Friend, going very wide, it has to be said, DD Friend, however, not invalidating his lap. Somehow. Interesting from a game there, not invalidating that lap. You know how honestly, I personally think in the game, in qualifying, they should restrict it to qualifying, but if you go off track anywhere in quali, for me, they should invalidate your lap. Like, regardless. Even if it slows you down, I still think they should. Because they do that in real life as well. DD Friend goes P6, 1 second off the pace, but still, 6th fastest for DD Friend. What a fantastic effort by him. That's superb. Been done over by the game. Yeah, what happened, Frenchy? I think all of us were in disbelief over what happened there. Obviously, one moment we're looking at all the drivers, and then the next moment we see Epic Frenchy has been disqualified. So yeah, let us know what happened in that instance. Tesco Meal Deal's also heading out there, so what can the £4 man be doing here? Tesco Meal Deals, he goes, oh, what a lap! 108.290! The Tesco Meal Deals are increasing from their value of £4. It's not enough. It has to go up to a fiver. 108.290. The McLaren on pole. Splendid lap time by Tesco Meal Deals. Yes, you wouldn't have thought I'll be calling him by his full name, but you know what? Why not? Right, Doug, Moody, Jar Jar Bing also out on an outlap. DD Friend still out on track, but heading into the pits just now. So we'll keep watch on Doug with less than 3 minutes of the session to go. So Tesco, Morg Massey, those are your two really pushing for pole. 1.5 tenths barely between them as a McLaren going through. That's Tesco. And don't forget, having seen Tesco just put in that lap, that might be his final run, however. Because has he got enough time to get himself into the pit and out again to start one final run? It'll be pushing it for Tesco. And he hasn't got enough fuel to go for another lap, so Tesco Mealdales is into the pit. And that may very well be a session done. Would it be a session done with a pole position for Tesco Mealdales? It remains to be seen. Jar Jar Bing showing up as on a lap, even though he's clearly not. We're going to go back towards his teammate, though. It's Williams' teammate. That is, of course, Doug. Let's see what Douglas can do. 2.1 off the pace, obviously on par with Kesonator. Well, actually, not even on par with Kesonator. Behind Kesonator, as things stands. And also Moody has just started that through sector 118.1. Let's stick with Doug then and see if the Williams can find his way up the field. It looks like the two Racing Bull drivers are looking potentially to work together here. Baker Gaming is starting a lap around Iron Shin, although there has now opened up a gap between the pairing, so certainly maybe not the case of using a bit of slipstream between each other. But let's stick here with Douglas. Where can Doug go? What about his middle sector? Let's just have a little look. Sector 2, 53.2, finding half a second. And that will push him closer towards the likes of Hybrid, Shazam and 50 Gent on the cusp of the top 10. Moody has invalidated. Has he got enough to go again? Well, Doug has burned all of his battery. Here we go. Doug to the line. It's a 9.7. Goes P11 on the cusp of the top 10. But Douglas has done enough just to get himself up the order. Hybrid is improving on his lap as well. Let's go towards 50 Gent, who's just about to start a lap. Moody, who we saw moments ago, he's starting another run, using a lot of battery into turn 1 as well. Let's go up the order. Luke Stepney is taking it nice and slowly. Free range eggs to the line. Is he improving? Yes, he is. It's now half a second for free range eggs. P3 for him. William, meanwhile, starting a lap in 6th position. So we are finding some improvements. Kingy OG about to start his lap as well. Still a couple of drivers trying to get to the line. DD Fred, one of them. He is starting his lap behind an Alpine. And Morg Massey does it again. He delivers for the second time this evening. 108.263. It's another pole position for the Aston Martin. He's taken it away from Tesco Mealdales, and that £5 valuation goes back down to a £4 valuation because Morg Massey takes it away from the McLaren. And free range eggs again, obviously we just saw him. Baker Gaming, Jar Jar Bing, they are done. Willie Fernandez finding 0.2 of a second. Who else can challenge? Hybrid up into the top 7 now. Diddy Friend is also on a lap. He started his lap very close to the Alpine of Kesonator, which I'm going to be honest, is a bit of a mistake for Didi Friend. You might find time on the snap, I don't know if you will. But yeah, so that is a mistake to start your lap behind Kesonator, I think. I think you should give yourself a little bit more opportunity to find some time. Hybrid's now going slowly, but DD Friend, yeah, he's losing time. I think it's it. Kesonator goes off track. So that'll be his session also done. What about Kingy OG? He's finding half a second here, Kingy OG. And Kingy goes P6 within 0.8 of a second. Good lap by Kingy there. He'll be happy with that. What about Luke Stepney? He's finding 0.3 of a second in P12. Should go within a second. And P10 not within a second. And only splits the Mercedes pairing. So Luke Stepney goes 10th fastest for Red Bull. But pole position heads to the Aston Martin and it heads to Morg Massey. Tesco Mealdales was close. Not close enough because Morg Massey takes it, and you know what? It's definitely opened up tier 2 because you're going to see the Aston Martin, McLaren, Red Bull, Racing Bulls, Kick Sauber, all the top 5 different teams. Aston Martin, 2 of them in the top 6. Great job by them. But then you got Williams up there, another McLaren, the Mercedes, Red Bull, Mercedes again. So yeah, a lot of different teams up in the field, which is good to see. But as you can see, the full classification. Oh, Morg Massey Well, I guess we're going to have to redo the lobby then. Morgan Massey's got an 8.263, and we are just going to have to redo the lobby. Tesco Meal Deal's 8.290. Free Range Eggs, then Biggie Gaming, then it'll be Willie Fernandez in the Kick Saber, followed by Kingy OG in the Aston Martin. Jar Jar Bing P7, 50 Gent P8 from Hybrid, Luke Stepney in the top 10 as well. And Diddy Friend, Iron Shin, Moody, Doug, Shazam, Kesonator, and then we will have Epic Frenchie in P17. But yeah, we will be doing a lobby restart then, and Morg Massey will take his pole position heading into the race. So I will actually leave the session and we will get straight on with the lobby reset for this evening. So let's sort that out if the game lets me. If the game lets me pause it. Game. No, that's rubbish. Why is the game not letting me pause it? I'm going to have to do this, don't I? Oh, now. Oh, okay, I see. Amazing. I just want to make sure. Yeah, right. Let's redo the lobby then. Can somebody put in the race day lounge that we are redoing the lobby? I will have to message Hybrid actually that we are redoing the lobby. So lobby restart. There you go. So I've messaged Hybrid. So if somebody could pop it in the race day lounge, please. Because Morg Massey got that 5-place penalty, so we will be restarting. Right. Here we go again. I did get the position, so hopefully they've saved nicely. Fingers crossed, of course. Right, the lobby is now open. If anybody wishes to join, feel free. If you don't wish to join, then obviously it's up to you. So I am just letting you all know, of course. Well, it is open, and on Xbox you can join directly on me. So no major issues with that. We'll go to that. Custom. I presume it was dry. If somebody can confirm to me, was it completely sunny through the race? If somebody can confirm to me what the weather was, then that would be fantastic. Thank you very much. Standard as well. Yep, all good. Right. There you go. Look at everybody flying in. In Kesney, it was the first one in. Amazing. Let's get Douglas was one of them. So Doug was one. We get more massive. We could join on me anyway. Batman not racing. Iron Shin is racing. Jar Jar Kingy. All of these guys are on Xbox, so they don't need an invite. Tesco can get an invite. Yes, try. Thank you. Alright, I will put it to clear. Unless I did that already. 50 Gent can go in. Moody. I'll have to get Warrener in as well. Because Warrener is on. Oh yeah, if anybody of you are watching, please add Warrener. If any of you are watching and are racing, add Warrener. All you have to do to add him, if I quickly show you, just click on his name and then it will say add on EA or whatever. Please do that, and then it'll be easier to get you back in the lobby in case you get a disconnection. So that is the best way. Otherwise, it might take a little bit longer if you're waiting on me, just because I'm obviously doing commentary, so it's a little bit different. Right, Luke Stepney, you can get an invite as well. Right. Anybody else? I think we had 17 drivers, if memory serves me correct. Maybe even 16. 16, is that actually correct? Let me go to spectator. Hybrid. William needs to pick his car. And then we have one more driver, I think, because the other driver, was it 17 or 18 that we had last time? Well, Kingy the King was obviously one of them. And then I will need to sort the lobby. So, right. Let's make sure we have it completely dry. We'll just go clear. Right. Let's sort the grid. So I do know Morg Massey because he was the reason why we're doing this lobby reset. He's on pole, so let me get the positions set up again. And obviously we will have another 5-minute break. So if you want to get your setups loaded, please make sure you do. Especially the Mercedes drivers. Right. Let's get the positions all sorted then. So Morg Massey, Tesco meal deal. You can go up to there. P3, free range eggs. I mean, you've got to have the partnership, ain't you? Tesco and eggs up there in P2, P3, P4, Bakey Gaming. position for him. P5 will be Willie Fernandez up the order. Solid stuff. P6 will be Kingy OG again. Solid qualifier. You can see the difference. A few drivers going up to tier 1, and then it just really has opened a tier up. Jar Jar being only P7, you would have thought he might have been a few places higher than that. You would have expected him to be battling around pole, to be fair. He's a good qualifier normally. 50 Gent P8, he'll be delighted with that. Hybrid taking P9 as well. Very strong effort. Luke Stepney was P10. And you got DD Friend taking P11. P12 goes towards Iron Shin. P13 to Moody. P14 to Doug. And then you can have Shazam ahead of Kesney. And then we need Epic Frenchie back in the lobby. Once Epic Frenchie is in the lobby, guess what we can do? We can go to race. Where's Epic Frenchie on here? Somewhere. Epic Frenchie, where are you? Oh, you're right at the bottom. He could have joined on me, but no worries. Epic Frenchie, there you go. Think he's the last driver to join. 17 sounds right because we had 18 last time, then because Kingy the King was the 18th driver. Anybody interested in the FIFA Club World Cup semi-final, by the way? It is Fluminense 0, Chelsea 1. João Pedro has scored his first goal for Chelsea. Right. Epic Venture is now in the lobby. He starts last because he got disqualified. So there you go. That is all done. Nothing else changed. So again, you will get a 5-minute break because this technically isn't a 5-minute break because obviously we've had to completely redo everything. So I will pop it in the race day lounge. So we will have a 5-minute break. You can all ready up to the grid now. So if you are listening to the stream, you can ready up to the grid. And we will have a 5-minute break. And then after the 5-minute break, obviously make sure you all get your setups on. All of you get your setups on, sort your fuel out, whatever, etc., etc. Right, ready up to the grid. 5-minute break. Start time will be... Let's sort out what start time, because again, it's going to take a couple of minutes just to get there. So if we say 20:38, yeah? 20:38, I mean, it's 6 minutes from now, so it gives you an extra minute, but then that's also loading onto the grid. 20:38, I think is fair, because again, we haven't had a little bit of waiting time during this process as well, so it's probably not going to be 5 minutes altogether. It's probably going to be slightly less than that. But you can now all ready up. The quicker we ready up, the better, really. And the start time will be 20:38 for this evening's race here at Interlagos. So, that in mind, we will go for a quick little pause with a video. And we'll be back in a few moments' time for the Brazilian Grand Prix.
Engines roar, the lights go down. Adrenaline runs through the battleground. We face the edge, no time to break. One shot to win, one line to take. From the first turn through the final flare, we own the track, we breathe the dare. Speed is the language, glory the game. In the ultimate league, we rise in flame. Feel the fire, feel the speed. Push it harder, take the lead. Rollers burning, hearts collide. We were born to rule this ride. Raise the flag. Time, ultimate formula, the finish line. Now screams and tires fly, we tear the limits, kiss the sky. No retreat, no second place. Every lap we set the pace. Legends forged in every lap. One mistake, a thunderclap, but we don't break, we only grow. It's checkered dreams in turbo soul. Feel the fire, feel the speed. Push it harder, take the lead. Rollers burning, hearts collide. We were born to rule this ride. Raise the flag, it's victory time. Ultimate formula, the finish line. The finish line. Oh, engines thunder in our veins. Oh,
Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back and we will kickstart the Brazilian Grand Prix here in Tier 2. Of course, this is pace-based tiers, so Monday night Tier 1, Tuesday night is Tier 2, Wednesday night Tier 3, and then Friday night is the 100% full race realistic cars tier. Right, the 10-second countdown has begun for Tier 2. This is UFRL and this is Tier 2. Welcome to Interlagos for the Brazilian Grand Prix. And it's go, go, go! Morg Massey and Tesco get away well at the front. And it will be Morg Massey holding the lead into turn 1. Through the centre as they go. Tesco takes over Free Range Eggs and taking over P2. Holding on to P2, shall I say, as Tesco gets on well. And gets some good slipstreaming behind Morg Massey. Free Range Eggs under attack from Baker Gaming, who's pushing for third. Has Baker Gaming got a chance? Down he is, and he has a look. Willie Fernandez also being attacked by Jar Jar, and Jar Jar being up into the top 5. Then it's from Willie and 50 Gent Hybrid up into P8. King EOG, Epic Frenchie. There's Iron Shin with Kesonator into P12. And a DD friend, Doug. Oh, a slip from an Alpine, and that is Kesonator. He's going side by side with D Defender. Looks like D Defender's got the move done. And oh, what's that? Williams, that's Doug. Doug has got into the rear of Kesonator. And that is damage for the Williams. And Doug now trying to go side by side with the kick sab of Moody. That's not been a comfortable start, is it? Oh, it's Doug and Moody going in at it again. Doug actually deciding, you know what, I'm going to just drop in behind Shazam and Luke Stepney there. And we'll head back towards the front. I think Doug will pit on lap 1. Not a good start to his race after that contact with the rear of Kesonator. Maybe a question mark over the rejoin from Kesonator because he may have had a bit of contact with DD Friend going on the exit as well. Potentially. Morg Massey, meanwhile, he has the lead still. Tesco and Free Range Egg still in there as well. It's a strong advantage out in front. Let's have a look at the tyre situation. Medium and hards all round. Oh, it's off track goes Tesco. And Tesco Meal Deals certainly having a look for another supermarket there, it seems, as Free Range Eggs may pounce on that error on his friend, in fact. Not quite having a chance there. Both of the mediums, Morg Massey and Baker Gaming on the hards. They're the only two on the hards in the top 8. King OG and Epic French also on the hards as well in P9 and P10. So back to the action, we stick with this then. Morg Massey leading, Tesco P2, but this is where you have a chance with the aid of DRS as we will head for the start of lap 3. Oh, onto the grass a little bit there, Free Range Eggs. They made a couple of errors, you know, at the start, but Morg Massey still getting along well. But this may be where it gets very, very difficult on those hard tyres. Here comes Tesco Meal Deal having a look on the outside. And in the end, just completely backs out of it, avoiding the grass as well. Maybe a smart move in the end. Maybe could have gone to the inside line. Didn't really know where the Aston Martin was going to defend the car. He defended it right in the middle of the circuit, making it difficult for the Papaya to find their way through. And there you go, right, there's a Baker Gaming and Jar Jar being in there. Jar Jar being getting closer. Hybrid also finding his way through on 50 Gent. Hybrid's up into the top 7. He's had a great start to the race. And now we go towards Jar Jar being on the rear of Baker Gaming. He's in P5 at this moment in time. Doing a good job, Jar Jar Bing. And having a look also on the inside of Baker Gaming again. He made that move earlier, don't forget, on William on lap 1. He's looking for another one on Baker Gaming to find his way up into the top 4. Not quite there yet for Baker Gaming. A couple of splits in the pack. Hybrid trying to catch up now. 1.1 second, 1.2 behind. Obviously 50 Gent was the one who lost the DRS out of those drivers, but he is seemingly catching here, Hybrid. If he uses that battery, he might have a chance to get in within 1 second. He was very close to it. It wasn't quite there. 50 Gent and Epic Frenchie, they're going to go at it. Let's go towards the front though. Tesco Meal Deal, has he finally got the lead? Yes, he does. He takes it away from Morg Massey, falls to second. Then it's Eggs. And then you've got a battle behind Baker Gaming back in it. You've got a few others here. Hybrid, I think Frenchie, 50 Gent Frenchie takes over. And here we go as Hybrid loses out to Epic Frenchie. And Epic Frenchie finds his way up the field. And this could be a chance here for 50 Gent, don't forget. 50 Gent is going to the outside of Hybrid. He takes over as well. 50 Gent now up for the order as Jar Jar Bing and Baker Gaming go side by side. And Baker Gaming also up into the top 4. What's happening down the rear? Kesonator, oh, what's this? Luke Stepney. Luke Stepney's off track for the Red Bull team. And Luke Stepney is down in P16. Does he have any damage? Yes, he does. End-plate damage for Luke Stepney. And that will be a disappointing start as well, similar to Doug. Arguably worse, by the fact he has had to take to the off-track for Mr. Stepney. Let's head back up the field towards Jar Jar Bing. And also, I will mention Tesco has opened up a gap of nearly 1 second. Oh, Jar Jar Bing getting close to Bakey Gaming already. He's taken over, has he? They're going side by side. Bakey, former Williams driver. Jar Jar, current Williams driver. Jar Jar Bing versus Bakey Gaming. Bakey won a title in the Williams car. He's getting attacked by a Williams car side by side through the centre S's. And it is Bakey on the inside. Jar Jar on the outside. Swooping through goes Jar Jar Bing. And now, has William got a slipstream? Has he got the exit he needs? Alongside Bakey. Ahead of Bakey Gaming he goes. And Willie Fernandez is into the top 5. But it was Jar Jar who started it off. And he makes his way up into 4th place. Still the battles occurring further back here with Hybrid and 50 Gent. 50 Gent having a great effort here in Tier 2, of course, from Tier 3. 50 Gent are within half a second of Hybrid. He's still doing well. He's nicely in that top 10 Hybrid. And you've also got Epic Frenchie in P7 trying to get his way back in a DRS of your front 6 drivers. 50 Gent ahead of Hybrid. Happened to Hybrid. Hybrid's on a spin. He's into the grass. Hybrid gets it back together, it seems. Hopefully for his sake, can just keep it nice and neat now. See what he can do. He's got Luke Stepney on the rear of him. Luke Stepney deciding not to pit, by the way, so sticking on with the damage that he clearly has. I think Hybrid may actually picked up some damage on the left side end plate as well. We'll go back towards the front, towards that top battle for the podium. Jar Jar Bing, Woody Fernandez in there as well. Bakey Gaming just dropping back a little bit as well. Epic Frenchie in the picture. It's certainly become a 7-way battle as Hybrid receives a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pits. And that's a damaging one for Hybrid. Again, just got to finish the race, Hybrid. That's all you need to do. Don't worry too much. You haven't had much time to practice or anything. Just finish the race. Get a few points to the board. Happy days. And that's all you need to do. At the end of the day, if you finish every single race, even if you finish last every race, you still pick up some decent points. And yes, you do get points all the way down to P20, and we've got 17 drivers, I mean, you get a few extra points even if you finish last. Even if every driver finishes, you still get a few points on the board. So it's good for yourself, it's good for your team, for sure. And at the end of the day, Kesnator's one who really does prove that. Kesnator finishes most races. He's clearly not the quickest on them. Again, he's P14 tonight. Yes, he's dropped off from Shazam, but he's actually done well in P14. He's ahead of 3 drivers. You know what, if Kesnator, even if he finishes P17, you know what, I don't think they'll complain about that Alpine, because they know Kesnator will try and just finish every race if he can. Moody, meanwhile, passed on King EOG. Good battle going on here. Here comes DD Fred on the inside of King E. They are going to go side by side. And that is close. King EOG off track. Ooh! DD Fred squeezing his way through there. King EOG a little bit uncomfortable with the rejoin slightly, but it seems to be okay in the end. DD Fred side by side. Oh, what's that? Kicks out. What's happened to Moody? Moody's off. Moody is around. And Moody will have to get his way back on for the kick. Sauber. There you go, Kick Sauber back on track now on Moody. So it's another one falling foul of just running a bit wide there. Moody joining the likes of Hybrid, and we've seen Luke Stepney as well. Doug obviously having a damage earlier on too. So a few drivers certainly making mistakes here in this race. Epic French, just have a look towards him. A 10th back now as he overtakes Bakey Gaming. Again, Bakey Gaming is within DRS, so it's an interesting one that Frenchie is getting his way through. And Epic Frenchie, don't forget, he's starting in P17. Epic Frenchie now is in P6. Could this be your title favourite? I'm going to be honest, I did actually say before tonight's race, I thought Epic Frenchie may be the favourite to win the title. And more going by, obviously, the drivers who went up to Tier 1. You've got myself, you've got Woody, you've got Boy Knockout, Salty Stevens, and our Destroyer Jack all made their way up to Tier 1 after round 1. So I personally, my prediction well, I'm not saying it was a prediction, but one of my favourites would have been Epic Frenchie. Other people who've impressed, it's difficult to really look beyond that top 7. They've all done remarkably well, and they're all sticking at it together. Tesco, Morg Massey, Free Range Eggs, Jar Jar, William, Epic Frenchie, Baker Gaming. Pick any one of those 7 who can go on to win a title. They've all got a good chance. Can anyone further back have a chance? I mean, you've still got, as into the pits goes Jar Jar being an early stop. 10-second penalty for Jar Jar. 10-second speeding time penalty for Jar Jar Bing in the Williams. So, well, he's going to have to make do with that. And there you go, he does pit. We'll get the situation with the lap data so you guys can see in the top right hand side what's going on. Stop situation of tyres now, so it's hard tyres for Jar Jar Bing. Will he try and... Oh, he's not going to go to the end. It's going to be a 2-stop here for Jar Jar. Undoubtedly a 2-stop strategy for him. Let's go back towards the front then, or the front end. Epic Frenchie then, after that pit stop at Jar Jar, he has overtaken Willie Fernandez, and up into 4th place now goes Epic Frenchie. Reminds me of a better version of me last week. I say a better version because he's come from P17 and he's already up into the top 4. Okay, he didn't have to face off against Boy Knockout, Salty Stevens, Woody and Destroyer Drac. But you know what? There's a reason why he's a strong contender for the title. I think Epic Frenchie will be a leading candidate for the title this season if he puts in strong performances like this race and also Mexico last week, where he put in a solid performance. So if he can keep up with these couple of results or seemingly strong results, let's see what he can do for the rest of the season. Iron Shin, 50 Gent, King EOG all having a scrap here for the meat, and Iron Shin picks up the meat and he is up into 7th. But what does 50 Gent do? And even King EOG, here comes Kingy with no battery, might I add, and King EOG just slots in behind a papaya in the end. So 50 Gent hold on. King EOG, DD Friend still there, and then Shazam within 1 second as well in P11. Hybrid meanwhile takes over from Doug up into P16. Although Doug just trying to use the pace of the Mercedes, who has now pitted and replaced his wing as well. The Hybrid and Doug together. The Hybrid obviously on much fresher tyres. Doug pitted on lap 1. Let's go Alpine, says Woody. Well, the Alpine at the moment. P4 for Epic Frenchie. Where's Kesonator? P12 for Kesonator. Obviously yet to pit, so you could argue he's net P17 maybe, possibly. Jar Jar being right behind him. Would he get held up by Kez? A very risky one, but in the end Jar Jar being round the outside. Looks like a nice move. It is indeed a nice move, but this could be interesting. Kesonator has DRS. Iron Shin gets a 10-second penalty for speeding now. What does Kez do here? Kez is going for it. He's going for it round the outside on Jar Jar. Jar Jar Bing will not be happy over this one. And Kesonator is ahead of Jar Jar. He's taking him back. But now, there's no doubt here, Jar Jar Bing's got to get him. Tesco Meal Deals, meanwhile, coming out of the pits. He's going to be just ahead or potentially behind this battle. It's close. Tesco's on the left side there. Jar Jar gets ahead. And then you've got Tesco, then you've got Kesonator. But there you go, Jar Jar being P10, Tesco P11, Jar Jar is ahead of Tesco. He has undercut the McLaren and up into the top 10. So this is the battle with the guys who are at the front. Obviously Morg Massey, Free Range Eggs, Epic Frenchie. Look how much closer Frenchie is now. It's 2.5 tenths from Free Range Eggs. Epic Frenchie has been quite remarkable in this race. I mean, I thought he was quite impressive at Mexico. Again, obviously didn't quite get the result he would have wanted, but he did put strong performances in quali and also the race. But nothing like what we've seen here. I mean, P17, he's up to P2. He's behind your leader, Morg Massey, who was your pole sitter. Yeah, Epic Frenchie has had a really impressive race. DD Friend, meanwhile, 3 tenths back from 50 Gent. Let's have a look back at this one. Jar Jar being Tesco Meal Deals. Is this where Tesco Meal Deals takes it back from the Williams? Having a look on the outside. Are they going to fight it hard? It looks like they will through to see the Drago. And there you go, the Papaya just sneaking his way round the outside. A little bit of contact on the exit, but nothing major. Jar Jar being falls to P10 again. Is this well, looks like it's for the net race lead here between Tesco and Jar Jar Bing. Free range eggs, well, that's not been good for free range eggs. Look how far back he's dropped. Is this just showing how much time you're going to lose if you pit right now? Because look at the gap between Tesco and Jar Jar compared to free range eggs. It's well over 6 seconds of a gap. I think, well, unless you're doing a one-stop strategy. If you're doing a one-stop strategy, okay, you just want to keep going. But yeah, this is a very debatable one for the likes of free range eggs right now. He won't be happy with his situation. DD Friend is pitting. Tesco Mildew is 1:11.5, fastest driver out on track as he's opening up a gap of almost 1 second on Jar Jar Bing, who did lap a couple of laps earlier. We'll look at that. 2 laps on for Tesco, 4 for Jar Jar. Free range eggs are 1 lap old tyres on the hards, only 1 lap faster than Tesco. Look at the gap between the two. That is some going from Tesco, and that is underwhelming from free range eggs. He'll be bitterly disappointed with that. Yeah, a lot of work to do here for the Red Bull team and for free range eggs to get his way back into this race. He really needs to see the likes of Morg Massey and Epic Frenchie pit, I think. That's what he needs to do. If they do pit, he's got a chance. Tesco Mealdills, here we go. Round the outside on Shazam. Yellow flags for a kick Sauber. It's for Moody, who's off again at the same corner that he was off moments ago. I'll say moments ago. Many laps ago now, but either way, it does feel like moments ago. Tesco Mealdills, here we go. He's got the opportunity to get the overtake done. Meanwhile, Epic Frenchie has now taken over the race lead. P17 to P1 in 14 laps. Okay, still yet to pit. Tesco Mealdills, here we go. To take on Shazam, to take on 50 Gen, the 2 McLarens involved in this. And here we go, Tesco Mealdills on the inside. He's now got the outside line, but another switchback for the inside. And there you go, Tesco Mealdills gets through. And this is going to be a bit difficult for Jar Jar, because Jar Jar Bing has got the McLaren. He's ahead of the McLaren. He's cleared 50 Gen. He needs to get Shazam. Can he get Shazam? He's gone down the inside. He does take Shazam. That's crucial for Jar Jar Bing. He needed that overtake because he needs to try and stay in the DRS of Tesco. And he has just about succeeded with that. And Jar Jar Bing up into the top 6. Yeah, good move that from Jar Jar Bing. Needed it. Absolutely needed that. The new improved Kez, yeah, definitely. Let's go, Bakey, up the racing bull, says Viking. Oh no. I'm sorry, Woody. I'm sorry, Woody. Commentator's curse. Kesnate a 3-second time penalty. Of course, it was always going to happen, wasn't it? Let's be honest. Doug, meanwhile, is now pitted again. So second pit stop of the race for Doug in 15 laps. Maybe he's trying the rainbow challenge. He might end up on into some full wets. Who knows? Let's go towards the front because the gap has opened up actually between Tesco and Jar Jar. 1.2 seconds now. So if we go away from that, there you go. Yeah, Epic Frenchie and Morg Massey, these are the 2 at the front. Morg Massey's probably thinking in his mind, where did Epic Frenchie start? If he doesn't even know that he started last. If he knows that he started last, he's probably thinking this guy's ridiculous. I mean, Epic Frenchie tonight has been absolutely outrageous. What a drive. Let's drop back, shall we, to free range eggs because he's now on the rear of 50 Gent. Again, though, I mean, the gap between himself and the likes of Tesco and Jar Jar is quite substantial, isn't it? Free range eggs does find his way through on 50 Gent up into P8. So he is up the order, but again, it's not where he'd want to be in this race, is it? Let's be honest, Shazam with a little slip there, obviously yet to pit on the hard compound tyre. Yeah, not the position where free range eggs would want to be after that pit stop. Right, here we go. Tesco Mealdills through on Kingy OG on this occasion. Would he get DRS? Or is he just given a DRS away? Well, Jar Jar Bing will also follow suit. Jar Jar Bing gets through. He's going to have a chance on the papaya. On the McLaren there. Kingy OG just in there. Oh, Kingy OG! Contact with Jar Jar Bing. If anything, it impacted Kingy OG more than it has impacted Jar Jar Bing, luckily. That may have cost Jar Jar a chance at an overtake here on Tesco Mealdills as well. So maybe factor that in for that one, that little contact. Has it cost Jar Jar a chance at a possible overtake on the McLaren there? Maybe. Maybe. I mean, it would have depended on the traction. He might not have had a chance to get the traction out because, again, his tyres are a couple of laps older than the McLarens, but again, we never know, because we never got to see it. Let's have a look back towards Willie Fernandez on the rear of Baker Gaming. Both of these have pitted as well now. So let's go back to the stop situation. Only 4 drivers, Epic Frenchy, Morg Massey, King EOG and Shazam yet to box in this race. Doug the only one to pit twice thus far. Surely he's on the hards, right? Should we have a look? Yeah, he's on the hards. I think he started on them hards as well. So he's back on the tyre that he started the race on. Willie Fernandez now has dropped out for 1 second on Baker Gaming. It's pretty obvious to say. Some drivers, even though they were sticking together, that front group of 7 drivers, they stuck together well through the early stages, but it's not really worked out so well for several of them. The likes of Free Range Eggs, you know, he pitted a lap late and only one of the drivers ahead of him, and he did open up a big gap. Gap now only 4 seconds, so he's not too far away from it. He has overtaken King EOG now, so he is catching the group ahead of the 2 drivers of Tesco and Jar Jar. In all fairness to him, but again, he would have hoped he would have been in a different situation. You compare it as well, Baker Gaming and William, who just pitted obviously, they are several seconds away from this man. King EOG was yet to pit, so yeah, drivers who were in that front 7 earlier on are not in the same predicament here. We have seen gaps open up. And speaking of gaps opening up, Epic Frenchy 1.1 second ahead of Morg Massey. I mean, this is... wow. This is dominating from Epic Frenchy. He has been absolutely rampant this evening. Wow, what a drive that has been from him. I mean, if he goes on to win this race after starting P17, and wow. Whew. Wow, what a performance he's had. Morg Massey, well, he'll be open to think something else, but he's struggling at the moment. They're both on hard tyres, so it's not like there's a tyre advantage to Epic Frenchy. Right now, he's just driving the car better, no doubt about that. 1.2 seconds to gap again. Morg Massey trying to get back within a second. It's not going to be easy for him, is it? And meanwhile, a couple of overtakes further down the field, 50 Gent battling with Shazam, but here comes Moody on the outside of Kesonator. Has he got the move done? Yes, he does. Oh, Kesonator just on the curb there. Luckily, avoids the majority of the grass, although we did get onto it a little bit as well. But Kesonator just sticking within the track limit slightly and preserves P16. Doug's within 12 seconds now, but again, no penalties for Doug. Kesonator does have penalties. What's the penalty situation? 3 seconds. That's a penalty situation. We keep it on that, actually. There's also some drivers who have 10 seconds will have to serve it if they pit again. So the likes of Jar Jar, Iron Shin, Luke Stepney, Hybrid, they'll all have to serve their 10-second penalties if we have like a safety car or they decide to pit for a second occasion. Let's actually go towards this one. Shazam with a Hybrid. Hybrid taking a wider line. Shazam all over the rear of him, and he looks like he is going to get the move around the outside on the Mercedes. And it looks like the Haas side by side just about does get through and up into P12. Hybrid 13th, 50 Gent in P14, and here comes 50 Gent as well. In the end, decides to back off from an overtake, unlikely overtake, might I add, into turn 6. So the McLaren in the end holding a back there. Oh, and into the pits they go. So Morg Massey did catch Epic Frenchy, and they both decided now is the time to pit. And again, interestingly, both decided to do it at the same time. So Epic Frenchy and Morg Massey both in the pits for Alpine and Aston Martin. And Tesco Mealdils inherits the race lead, or Jar Jar Bing 1.3 behind with a 10-second penalty as well. So Tesco Mealdils leads the race, but again, ooh, Epic Frenchy and Morg Massey have gone mediums. Okay, let's see how they work. I mean, the offset between the medium and hards, in fact, in terms of how long they can go, is not particularly long. There's not much distance, or much difference rather, between them when it comes to how long they can do. So the mediums, I do actually believe, can probably take you to the end now. Yes, they won't be feeling comfortable at the end. Morg Massey, 3-second penalty. He won't be feeling comfortable to the end now. But that time penalty, that gives Epic Frenchie a major opportunity. Again, Frenchie's tyres are going to be really, really struggling later on. And you've got a battle here, Luke Stepney side by side with Shazam. And has Shazam just got it back? Yes, he does. Luke Stepney just drops him behind. And Luke Stepney on the much older tyres, 14 laps on his mediums. So no wonder why he struggled in that fight. We go towards King EOG, who's into the pits for the Aston Martin. Let's go back up towards Morg Massey. In behind Epic Frenchie, who wants the overtake for P6. And again, if he can get up to P6, it'll be solid for him. These two, of course, were leading the race before their pit stop. But net P1 and still P1 is Tesco Meal Deals. Jar Jar being P2 with Free Range Eggs in P3. But again, these guys will still need to pit again. Whereas you compare that to, say, Morg Massey, to Epic Frenchie. These guys don't need a bit box again. They can stay out now to the end. They do not have to pit again. These mediums can take you to the end here. So it might be a little bit of a worry. Say Willie Fernandez on the hards. Yes, he might be planning to go to the end, but also these two behind are also going to the end. Let's see what happens here. Epic Frenchie, he's going to go early. I think. Yeah, it's gone early. So Willie Fernandez will now get DRS here. What happens? Does William decide, you know what, I'm pushing for the overtake? No, he doesn't. So he backs away from battling here with the Alpine. He's got Morg Massey behind him. Oh, a bit of contact there from Morg Massey behind William. And now Willie Fernandez is keeping Morg Massey behind. Hybrid 10-second penalty. He's done it again. Another 10 seconds. Well, he'll have to serve 10 seconds in the pits. At least. Again, just get to the end, Hybrid. That's all you need to do. Just get yourself to the end. And work on that work on avoiding those 10-second speeding penalties, I would say. That would be my advice. You get charged to practice. There's practice going into the pits just to avoid those 10-second penalties. Because they are costly. They are really costly 10-second penalties, I've got to say. And they're always frustrating whenever you pick up one of them. Because you always think in your mind, how much time are you going to lose if you go in normally? You're probably going to lose a second at a push. Normally you don't even lose that. So when you have to pick up a 10-second penalty, on previous games you get 5-second penalties. Now you're getting 10 seconds, and it's a proper slap on the hand, slap on the wrist scenario when you speed into the pits. As you can see here, Morg Massey is ahead of Willie Fernandez now, but William once again has the DRS. I don't think he's close enough to attempt an overtake, so the Aston Martin has now held him off. But look at Epic Frenchie, 1.5 seconds clear. Morg Massey with a penalty as well, so Epic Frenchie in a strong position. And he might end up going from last to first and taking a win here. He's in a very good predicament. 50 Gent and Shazam are two tier 3s going at it, and 50 Gent just about has the advantage on this one. He's up into P10, as we also have DD Friend and Iron Shin around each other. DD Friend from tier 3, Iron Shin is tier 2. But at the moment, DD Friend seems to have the advantage on this battle, on this particular occasion. We'll just have a keeping a watch of this one. 50 Gent and Shazam for now. Oh, never mind. I'm incorrect, because Jar Jar Bing is pitting. He will also serve that 10-second penalty as well. There are more pit stops. Baker Gaming, I believe, here now having a battle with Epic Frenchie. Epic Frenchie finding his way through again. Baker Gaming, is he one of those on the 2-stop strategy, is it? Yeah, I think so. I think Baker looks like he's on a 2-stop, which is a bit worrying that he's been passed now by Epic Frenchie, boxed 4 laps later. But it looks like Baker Gaming is surely going to be doing a 2-stop strategy here. Jar Jar Bing, meanwhile, overtaking King OG. King OG going back side by side with him, so These two again, and Jar Jar Binks just being held up on this one by King EOG. Obviously, Jar Jar Binks just pitted and served that 10-second time penalty. Down the order goes to Williams. And that will stick King EOG nicely into that top 11 hybrid. Back through on Doug as well. Doug is actually pitting for a third time. Going for the mediums until the very end. Back on with Jar Jar Binks. We're in a couple of tenths of a second on King EOG now, but the Aston Martin will preserve the place. But we've got a straight coming up, so all the way to turn 1, they will all have DRS from the rear of the McLaren of 50 Gent. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to get the move, but Shazam looks like he's going to push for an overtake down the inside on 50 Gent. They are going side by side. And 50 Gent goes through. What's the Aston Martin doing? The Aston Martin there, King EOG. That's a bit of an error, really. Yeah, certainly an error looking at a move. But here we go again. It's going to be a four-way battle. All the way down to Reta Posta. All the way down into turn 4 through to Cedar de Lago. It's Jar Jar. And Jar Jar being into P9. He gets all of them. He's up ahead of 50. He's up into 9th place. Great overtakes there by Jar Jar Binks. He finds his way up the order. Exactly what he needed from this battle. He's now 3.2 seconds behind Iron Shin ahead. And you can see how much he's gapping these three now as well on those fresh rubber. 50 Gent, King EOG Shazam. No match for the pace of Jar Jar Binks with the tyre offset as well. And into the pits goes Baker Gaming. Into the pits goes Free Range Eggs. And that allows for Epic Frenchie, Morg Massey and Willie Fernandez to all take over. Let's have a look then. Tesco Mealdals out of the pit. You know what? Could make a case. He certainly looks like he's a favourite for the podium, Tesco Mealdals. Has he got a chance to win this race? The gap to the leader. Only 10 seconds. Oh my goodness, he's only 10 seconds away. He's only going to get quicker here, surely. He could get P2 out of this. There's no way he could get P2. Morg Massey has a penalty. Williams on much older tyres. Tesco could get minimum P2, but he could battle for the win. Surely. 6-lap fresher tyres and Epic Frenchie, who leads the race, and Morg Massey P2. 12-lap fresher tyres and William in P3. Tesco Mealdals has given himself an opportunity now to deliver minimum P2. Look at how much he's gained. 1.5 seconds through the middle sector. Tesco is flying. Oh my goodness, 8 seconds now as we take it to the line. He will go purple again. No, he won't actually go purple through the final sector, but he was purple through the middle sector. Tesco Mealdals is under 8 seconds behind Epic Frenchie. And yes, it's not to the car ahead, it's to the race leader. 7.4 seconds now. Tesco is absolutely flying. Incredible. We all thought Epic Frenchie, well, he had a great chance for the 1 stop, but a 2 stop for Tesco seems to be doing him justice. He looks like he's pushing on for the win. He's got himself a great chance. The gap is 7.1 seconds. He continues to close. We are down to the final 10 laps, and Tesco is gaining by over 1 second per lap. Next up will be Willie Fernandez. That's for a place on the podium. This is a big, big chance for Tesco Mealdals. And now William is the car ahead of him. And it's incredible how much he has caught up to the Kick Sauber. But he's catching everyone. Tesco Mealdals, here we go again. On the Kick Sauber, on Willie Fernandez. This is going to be a crucial moment in the race for Tesco Mealdals. Will he also go purple on this lap to the line? No, but he does take over William for a place on the podium. P3 for Tesco. The gap, 5.4 seconds. Free Range Eggs is the man who goes purple. 1:10.973. So these two, Tesco and Eggs, are looking incredibly quick for McLaren and Red Bull now. But the issue is, for Eggs, he does have a penalty. That penalty is of 3 seconds. Morg Massey also has a penalty, standing at 3 seconds. So, not looking great for Morg Massey when it comes to the penalty situation. But look at this man. Tesco, 4.4 seconds to Epic Frenchie now. And Epic Frenchie, I mean, he can't be thinking to pit again. He can't get those mediums to the end. Again, I will clarify that. He will. Both him and Morg Massey can go to the end. But they are no match for Tesco Meal Deals. Tesco Meal Deals is going to eat them alive. He's going to eat them alive at £4. Luke Stepley, meanwhile, ahead of Kesenator, is also a Mercedes, I think, potentially hybrid. There's a bit of an issue further back, but here comes Tesco Meal Deals. And he is going to take the Aston Martin with... Oh, it was a bit close in the end, but he's 1:10.900 to the line. What does Free Range Eggs do? Does not go quicker, so Tesco has got the fastest lap again. Well, I say again, he's taken it away from Free Range Eggs. 1:10.900, and Tesco Meal Deals 2.6 seconds to Epic Frenchie. We all thought it was going to be close, but you know what? It might not even be close. Tesco Meal Deals, well, you might just have the strategy nailed down. And Epic Frenchie, you know what? You come back from P17, you've done an incredible job. But it does look like, unfortunately for you, you are going to be caught by Tesco. It's just about whether or not you can stick with him in the final laps of this race to give him a bit of a challenge for that 6-lap tyre offset. It's not going to be feeling great for Epic Frenchie here. You can see just how much time he continues to gain. And yeah, it's not looking good. Not looking good at all for Epic Frenchie. But can he hold on to P2 at the very least? But Tesco Meal Deals is going to come home with a win. Surely there's no stopping the Papaya McLaren here. Free Range Eggs is through on Willie Fernandez. He's up into 4th. Again, what a fantastic battle to come back there. Jar Jar being also after the 10-second penalty picked up earlier. Ahead of DD Friend, and up into the top 6 goes Jar Jar. Becky Gaming ahead of 50 Gent. He's up into P9. So it's a really good overtake there from Becky Gaming. And now it's King Yo Jesus ahead of him at 0.3 of a second. This is a good chance for Becky Gaming. And it looks like he's going to take over for P8. And indeed he does. Down the inside and up into 8th position. And we have to go to this one position. One battle. Iron Chin ahead of Kesenator. That's not the battle we're going to. Because we have to stay with this one. Epic Frenchie in P1. Tesco Meal Deals in P2. The gap has opened up slightly. I say that. It's 0.6 of a second. It's not really opening up. But he did lose a couple of tenths, maybe with a bit of dirty air. But here we go. DRS all the way to turn 1 into the centre S's. Tesco Meal Deals 4 tenths, 3 tenths. He closes, he goes down the inside on the Alpine. Side by side they scrap. Tesco and Frenchie fights it, but Tesco! Oh, Tesco! 3-second penalty for Tesco Meal Deals. But Epic Frenchie will fight this one back. Will he? Maybe into Retta Aposta, down into turn 4 to Cinder Delago. But it is Tesco Meal Deals who's ahead. He'll try to get the 3-second advantage there. I mean, it didn't look like he was forced off track at all. To be honest, he didn't look like he was forced off whatsoever. But he's going to try his best to get the 3-second gap out on Epic Frenchie. And you know what? He might just do it because the gap is already 1.1 seconds. And that is going to continue to open up. I mean, Tesco Meal Deals, yeah, he's going to go on to win this race. There's no doubting that. Epic Frenchie, he's tried his best. He's delivered a great job for Alpine. Starting in P17, don't forget. But sadly, he's just going to fall one position short. Or maybe even more. Because don't forget this man. Free Range Eggs attacking Morg Massey now. There's 4 places on the podium. And he gets it. Morg Massey has dropped back. A pole sitter. So Free Range Eggs is up to P3. There's no denying that the optimal strategy, or well, what the optimal strategy is. But yes, Free Range Eggs is up into P3 now. Okay, Morg Massey, he's going to come back at him. He really is trying, but he's not close enough. So Free Range Eggs is the one up into 3rd place. Luckily for him, well, luckily for Tesco, should I say, Free Range Eggs has the 3-second penalty as well. But again, Tesco may try to appeal the penalty depending on what happens. But I think he is going to win this race anyway. But Free Range Eggs looked quick. He has actually been catching Tesco in all fairness. But his toughest overtake may be about to happen. So we have a look further back at 50 Gent, just under a second from King OG here. As our hybrid receives a 3-second penalty. I think he will drop behind Doug. Maybe can still beat off the Kesonator challenge. But let's see here, 50 Gent, before we potentially go towards the battle for second place between Eggs and Frenchie. So our yellow flags, and it is a Mercedes. That will be for hybrid. So he will be overtaken, but here we go. For the McLaren Iron Shin with a 10-second penalty. For 50 Gent, through on King OG. We have to go up low, because Free Range Eggs not overtaking Epic Frenchie. How significant will that be for Free Range Eggs' hopes of a top 2 finish in this Grand Prix? Again, let's get the penalty situation back up then. So 3 seconds for Free Range Eggs, 3 seconds for Morg Massey. William is not far away, by the way, and even Jar Jar Bing may offer himself some hope after that 10-second penalty he picked up earlier. Oh, good timing, Deck. I just literally put it on for you. So, there you go. That's what the penalty situation is saying. Tesco Meal Deals will get the win as hybrid of a penalty. But, yeah, Tesco Meal Deals getting a victory as things stand. Here we go. Free Range Eggs round the outside on Epic Frenchie. Has he got the overtake? Here we go. Side by side, it's getting close. But Tesco still leads. Free Range Eggs ahead of Epic Frenchie. Up into P2, but now he's got to put the burners on, because if he wants to get that 3-second penalty, Free Range Eggs, well, with that penalty that he has, needs to open the gap to Epic Frenchie, similar to how Tesco did it earlier in the race. I say earlier, again, I do mean about 3 laps ago. So the battle for P2 is most certainly on. The battle for P4 is on. William is almost within 3 seconds, but guess who's also catching? Yes, this man, Jar Jar Bing, is now within 3 seconds of William. We could have an almighty battle for 4th place between Morg Massey, William and Jar Jar Bing. DD Friend has been caught now by Becky Gaming for P7. Becky Gaming looks like he's going to get that position surely from the Mercedes. King OG behind 50 Gent as well. That is within 3/4 tenths of a second now. Tesco Meal Deals running away, running clear in this Grand Prix, and we have just 2 laps of racing remaining. Tesco Meal Deals will come home with a win unless anything major happens. A battle for P2. Free Range Eggs has got a 2-second buffer now on Epic Frenchie, but again needs it to be opened up to 3 seconds. You've got 2 laps to succeed at that. Becky Gaming, here we go, round the outside on DD Friend, and finding his way up into 7th position. Becky Gaming, who was up in the top 7 earlier in the race, has found himself back in there. And you know what? Every driver who was in that top 7 battle earlier on are back in the top 7. Even though I think Jar Jar was one of those who got a 10-second penalty. So they are all back there, except there are now gaps spread out between them. Let's also drop back here towards King Eugene. I've been able to overtake 50 Gent, and a little bit of dirt, playing a part there as well on the exit of the Desina de Lago as we enter all the way into turn 6. Epic Frenchie now, that's it for him. His race is won, or well, his race is lost effectively. 4.3 seconds to Free Range Eggs. So there's no denying the top 2 will be Tesco Meal Deals and Free Range Eggs. So wow, what a job they've done. William within 3 seconds of Morg Massey. The final lap has started as well. So we are on to the final lap here at Interlagos. Tesco Meal Deals, well, he will come home with the victory. King OG slides away, so that will be him done as well. He won't be challenging. So Tesco Meal Deals, he's going to have a whole lap on stream to himself pretty much. Oh, he goes off. He went off track, Claire. Maybe taking his eye off the ball. Hybrid set to fast lap. 1:10.549. So no fast lap going to another team. I won't say it. Well done, Hybrid. I won't say it. Tesco Meal Deals will of course get a P1 from this race though. Oh, Morg Massey, what's happened? He's gone off track. He overtook William. William's on the podium. Oh my goodness gracious! The King Sam has done it. Out of absolutely nowhere, Willie Fernandez is on the podium. Jar Jar ahead of Massey. Chargers into 4th. We've got a battle for the podium. Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, there's still a race going on, but Tesco Meal Deals will come home to complete the victory. Free Range Eggs will take 2nd position, but who will get the final place on the podium? It looks like it's going to be the King Sauber. Willie Fernandez is going to come home in P3 because Epic Frenchie is the one with the error. William 3rd, Jar Jar 4th, Morg Massey will come home in P5. Willie, no, we're not. It's Bakey. Bakey's 5th. Then it's Morg Massey. Then it's DD Friend. 50 Gen P8. What's Frenchie's out of fuel? Frenchie's out of fuel. He's P11. Oh my god. There was no way. He's out of fuel, surely. Oh, this has got a puncture. Can we see it on the telemetry? There's no indication on the telemetry. Something has gone horribly wrong there for Epic Frenchie from what was a solid position. Still up the order. That would be P11. Final driver to come across the line will be Doug. But what has gone on there? Well, Tesco Meal Deals gets the win. But Epic Frenchie, what on earth happened at the end? How was he dropped from a battle around the podium spots to P11? Well, again, we have to go straight to this. As we get 50 Gen just talking loudly in our ears. Good evening, 50 Gen. But yeah, we've got the podium celebrations. That's insane. The ending of that, wow. Can't wait to go through the full classification because again, that's madness. Absolute madness. Here we go. Oh, it's not the full race classification. Race winner Tesco Meal Deals. We saw that. Fast lap hybrid. We saw that as well. Driver of the day goes to the in-game driver today. Says Jar Jar Bing. Most overtakes. Well, of course, that has to be Epic Frenchie. Right. Here we go. Your full race classification. A mad, mad ending. Tesco Meal Deals takes the win at Free Range Eggs in P2. William 3rd place. What a podium for the Kick Sour. Jar Jar Bing and Baker Gaming in the top 5 as well. And then Morg Massey the pole to the DD Friend P7. What a result. 50 Gen King OG Moody and Frenchie, Stepney, Shazam, Doug, Iron Shin, Kesonator and Hybrid in P17. Those are your full classifications. And again, an absolute mental ending here in the race in Tier 2. Of course, it was a great start in terms of, unless you were Doug, of course, but it was a great start for the most part. Epic Frenchie found his way through the field, ended up in the top 7, and the top 7 all together. And then the pit stop started to happen. It opened up gaps in the field. There wasn't too much going on through the midfield of that race, but right at the end, in fact, pretty much in the final sector, the race just went wild. With whatever was going on, particularly with, say, Frenchie and maybe Morg Massey. But Epic Frenchie was seemingly the one who, well, I think he ran out of fuel or had a puncture. I'm going to guess he ran out of fuel. I will just double check in the lounge if he said anything since. Fingers crossed he has said what happened. But I think, from what I'm seeing, or as far as I'm aware, I think Epic Frenchie ran out of fuel. And if he, obviously there was no safety car. Back to that in, there's no safety car, no nothing. So, you know, he wasn't doing the lifting and coasting. Because he wasn't doing the lifting and coasting, he didn't recover any fuel. That's what I'm guessing. Could he have had a puncture? I mean, it's a possibility he could have had a puncture, but it didn't look like it when I went to his car. He just looked slow, and there were yellow flags, I think, around him as well. So that is pretty much why Epic Frenchie was dropping down the field. But wow, he really dropped, didn't he? Hard fuel mode. It's a killer. It is a killer. I think we was it on last year's game? A puncture? No way. Don't do the one-stop strategy in Brazil then. Okay. Well, thank you for the confirmation on that, Frenchie, because I know what I'm popping into my Mercedes team chat at Brazil now. There you go. Right. There you go. So thank you for the confirmation on that, Fenty. You got a puncture. So that's pretty much confirmation of what the strategy is. Again, I'm not going to say too much because if you're watching, you should really know. Based on the race, it was pretty clear what was the quicker strategy out of the 1 and 2 stops here. And even then, the 1 stop had a puncture as well. So, you know, yeah. But it was always going to be either a puncture or fuel. I was guessing it was fuel, but obviously I was incorrect. Finished 5 places ahead of me. Yeah, I mean, well, factor it. Obviously, he started last, but he was also leading at one point as well, Kaz. So I wouldn't even take that in a bad way, to be honest. And you know what? You didn't even finish last. You still finished the race. You know what? Everyone finished the race. Everybody finished the race. Even Hybrid done a P17. You got a couple of 10-second speeding penalties and all this, and a couple of spins. But you know what? Hybrid, well done, and Kez as well, etc., etc. Well done. Good stop. Good stuff. Good stop. Good, not good stop because of a 10-second penalties, but good stuff for getting you right to the end and making sure you finish. Get some points home for the team. So well done to all of those drivers, especially at the end. The likes of Kez, Hybrid, Doug as well to do it as well. So yeah, all of those drivers who went to the end, even though you had a disappointing race from your perspectives, maybe, or maybe a good race. Who knows from your perspectives? I think Kez will be okay with his race there. Yeah. So well done to all 17 drivers. You all finished the race. And you know what? One thing I will have to say before I do end the stream again. Um, obviously regarding Canon, the devastating news. I think we do have to end on that. And tonight's show on that, of course. Eh, you know, obviously everybody is absolutely devastated with all of that. And again, we had all the respects being paid earlier on. And yeah, the stream tonight is definitely a strong one with what happened. So for Cannon, yeah, this is the one for him. And again, it will continue with tomorrow as well. We will continue with what we did in terms of the parade laps. So we will do that as well. And then Friday again, I'm pretty sure we'll be doing it then. So we'll be doing it for the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the Friday. Obviously, we don't race on the Thursday, so we won't be doing it on the Thursday. But yeah, for UFRL, this has been for Canon this race and this week. And yeah, so thank you to everybody who has watched, who has paid their respect, and also hopefully enjoyed the race as well. And we'll see what happens tomorrow night for Tier 3. And we'll be back 8 o'clock PM, UFRL Formula 1 on the Twitch. UFRL, is it just UFRL F1, I think, on the TikTok? Yeah, UFRL underscore F1 on the TikTok. So feel free to give a watch for tomorrow night's Tier 3 action. It will be at 8 o'clock PM. And I will just double check for you guys what the track is before I do just quickly end the stream. Let's see, Tier 3, where are we going to? Tier 3 attendance will be the place. So we'll be heading to Spa. There you go, beautiful track. So we'll be Belgium. Ooh, that's going to be an interesting one because I just realised Belgium is one of the longest tracks as well on the game. I don't know if we want to think about the parade laps, but well, probably won't. But at the same time, Belgium is probably going to take about 5 or 6 minutes just doing maybe a couple of laps at a push. Oh, that could take a long time, and that means drivers may only get 1 lap in qualifying. That'll be an interesting one, but we'll see what happens there for tomorrow night at Spa. So drivers, be prepared. You may only get 1 lap. You'll be lucky to get 2 laps in at Spa. But yes, anyways, for this evening, we have been UFRL. I've been UFRL F1 Viva. Thank you for watching, and good night.
Engines roar, the lights go down. Adrenaline runs through the battleground. We face the edge, no time to break. 1 shot to win, 1 line to